I grew up in Kentucky, going to a conservative Jewish synagogue, attending religious camp, joining Jewish youth organizations, and even making a pilgrimage to Israel in high school. That trip is still one of the most incredible experiences I have had. Israel felt like home, especially after spending 2 weeks traveling through Holocaust concentration camps in Eastern Europe. It solidified my identity as a Jewish person and brought about a deep commitment to Israel. At one point, I even told my friends that I would rather fight for the Israeli Defense Forces than the U.S. Army. It was not until I began my studies at Guilford College, when I heard a guest lecturer share about Palestinian refugees and their hardships, that my views truly began to change. This knowledge really impacted the way I saw things, and over the next 3 years, my cultural identity transformed. Last year, Israel cut all ties with the Human Rights Council and refused to cooperate with an investigation report on the impact of Jewish settlements on Palestinians. This very public action hurt more than just my heart. Before the incident with the Human Rights Organization, it was still hard for me to outright condemn Israel for their actions. I had always felt the need to stand up and justify the creation of a Jewish state and their political decisions. This action, however, confirmed to me that Israel really didn't have an interest in what was happening to the Palestinians, and that the safety and protection speeches were a facade. For a people who experienced so much prejudice and oppression during the Holocaust and carry so much weight in never forgetting the injustice done to them, we should know never to repeat the oppression against others. But whom do you blame in this situation? When you are pinpointing the root of oppression, where do you point the finger? Do you blame the Israeli Defense Forces soldier from America, who, when we ask him what he is doing here in Palestine, he replies, "I don't know, just following orders and trying to get my time in the army finished"? Is it the settlers' fault, who continue the atrocities against these people without any valid reason to do so? In my travels to Jordan and Palestine over the summer, I was able to see firsthand how Palestinians lived. I heard how Israeli settlers poked holes and graffitied on water tanks, closed Palestinian storefronts and markets, and prevented people from going on their own roofs or making a livelihood for their families. In the case of one family we met, settlers had previously tossed snakes down on his young child through a hole in the wall, and recently thrown acid in the face of his older son. To reconcile feeling at home in a place that is knowingly oppressing a group of people is something that has not been easy, and besides the few Jewish friends I feel comfortable enough to talk to, my parents are people I can voice my opinion to. My father, born and raised a Jew, unlike my mother, has strongly rooted opinions about Israel, and still to this day we don't completely see eye to eye. He tells me that he respects my beliefs, but that it will take him longer than just a day or two to change his views. He is opening his mind to articles I sent him, and is trying to be more supportive of my desire to do work in Palestine, which is all I can ask from him. I wish my other Jewish friends would listen and respect me in the same way. My connection to Judaism and my misgivings in how Israel acts are two separate things, and should not be confused. I have been told I am not Jewish enough, and have turned my back on Israel and my people by many of my Jewish friends. I am as Jewish as ever, and there is no changing that. Evolving your opinions is natural, and as human beings, it is your right to question everything. No one has the right to tell you what your identity is and to place you in his or her box. Create your own box. My name is Miriam. I am a Jewish American who supports human rights and the nonviolent social justice movements for Palestinians and for peaceful coexistence with Israelis.